It's another original BW Sports 1 production.
Pew pew!
What does it do, good people? This is your man's the one, and this is the Dukes of Football. What is going on, everybody? Thanks for joining in on this lovely Wednesday evening here in Indianapolis and the thousands watching around the world. Okay, maybe like 7 or 8, but you know what I mean. What's going on? Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday evening. It's very, very a fun time of year for a sports fan. If you're like me, you know, we have NFL football going on right now. We have NCAA football going on right now. We also have the baseball playoffs going on right now. We're in the divisional series. The NLDS looks to be going the Phillies' way at this particular moment in the game against the Braves, and looks like it's tied up in the ALDS over here with Houston and Minnesota, who I am currently watching as I am talking to you right now. And then as well as that, you have the WNBA finals as well. I think their game 2 is also tonight. It's 8 o'clock, so I'm probably going to be switching over to that after I chat with you guys for a bit. I'm not going to be on there too long. I am kicking it solo today. Dan had a late scratch, something that I did see pictures of and had to be taken care of. No, it's not medical, so don't get all them funny-ass ideas, you weird people. And then Source, you know, he's wrapped up getting this baseball playoffs taken care of with just a bit outside with Tim. And he's also, you know, doing his hockey thing with the new show, The Puck Drops Here. So, and then also we got hockey popping off right now. With the preseason as well as NBA in the preseason. I was just checking out some media day for NCAA basketball for both men and women. So, yeah, this is an exciting time of year, you know, if you're a sports fan, because I'll say 90% of the sports are being played right now. So, hey, what's up, Tim? What's going on, bro? Yes, I see that the Phillies are up 8-2. I have already switched over. I don't have a baseball team per se. I like players, you know what I mean? Because baseball is like third on my list, so I don't really follow a team. I did follow the Braves quite a bit in the 90s. That's because they were all cool. It was messing with all the hot chicks back in the 90s. So other than that, I'll probably just cheer for players. Dan and I do talk a lot of shit about Bruce Harper. Yes, we know his name is Bryce. We both think he's a phenomenal baseball player, but, you know, we just like calling him Bruce. So there's no hate. But that was just Tim's. Did you see that home run in the third that rocked it all off? I mean, that was a pretty nice shot from Bruce Harper. So, yeah, if you're into the baseball thing, you can jump over here and check out that. Make sure you check out Just a Bit Outside, and they'll keep you up to date. You do you. Bruce has 2 bombs. I saw both of them. I was more impressed with the first one. But, yeah, so we should have some fun tonight. Shouldn't be on too long, like I said, because there's a lot going on. I want to check out some of these NBA preseason games, and also want to check out this game 2 of the WNBA Finals. I want to see if Stewie and Sabrina Ionescu and Jonquil can get back on track, because Vegas dominated game one to the point that you thought it looks like Vegas is going to win their second straight championship. So those ladies over there look real solid. So that is enough of the jibber jabber. Oh, no, it is not enough of the jibber jabber. I have to give out our shout outs. I know Dan would have loved to do this himself, but he is not, since he's the fight guy. Our good buddy Nathan Manis, UFC fighter, who is currently on the roster, who we had on the show a couple of times to talk a little bit about himself and his fights coming up. So he did fight this last weekend on the fight card this past Saturday. He was in the prelims. This is, I think, his fourth fight, and yeah, he won his first one, lost his next two, and then he just won this fight this weekend by technical knockout. Referee had to stop in because Nate was beating his ass, so he jumped in, and because of that first round TKO, he also was awarded the fight of the night. So we send hats off to our good friend Nate Manis, and all the people down affiliated with him is Southern Combat Productions. Once again, we got the SCP jumping off here in a couple weeks down there in Evansville. For those guys, looks like Dan is putting together a pretty nice card. So make sure, if you're in the area or if you're in the fight scene and you travel a little bit, make sure you get down there to the Evansville Coliseum. Don't have the dates in front of me, but it's on our page. Check those guys out for SCP 4, I think it is, number 4. So, and that we keep it moving. We do like to talk a little bit about Indiana high school football a little bit here. Not much to get on there. I know they're finishing up these last couple of weeks. The big news that we have here is that the state brackets have been released. So for all the classes from 6A, which is the top class, or the bigger schools, down to the single A division, which are the super small schools where you get half the day off to go tend to the farm, and then you come back and finish your studies. No, I'm joking. You know what I mean? I'm just stereotyping those country little towns. But no, you know what I mean. So the brackets are out. So you'll see the brackets within your regions. We start off with sectionals here. Other places have them, divisions or something like that. But we start off with sectionals here, and then they have all the regions broke down for the sections. Then they go into the regionals, which leads into semi-state, which leads into state here down at Lucas Oil Stadium, where the Colts play at. State games are pretty exciting. You do get to see some pretty good matchups. We got some good favorites this year. What sucks is, and it really happens more in basketball when it comes to the state tournament, a lot of the really good teams are here in the city or the suburban areas surrounding the city, and they all play within the sectional and regional. So teams that you would think that you'd like to see battle for a state title, they're going to battle for a sectional game, not even the title. So it's pretty exciting here when it comes to that. So be on the lookout. We'll talk about our favorite teams and keep you guys posted for what is popping off in IHSAA, which is Indiana High School Basketball. So to keep this thing moving, let's see. We'll talk a little bit about college football, NCAA, across the NCAA. All right, so not going to dwell a little bit about it, because most of our has to do with banter and bouncing ideas off. So I'm not going to dwell on a little bit of the talking points. Really just wanted to jump on and make sure that we get the picks out so you know what's going on with the picks. But pretty exciting week last week for NCAA. Had the big upset of Texas by Oklahoma. You know what I mean? That was a pretty big win for the Big 12, but a big loss for the Big 12 because you don't want Oklahoma doing something, or it didn't matter with Oklahoma or Texas. Both of them are leaving to the SEC next year. So A big win and a big loss for the Big 12 all in the whole, but great game for Oklahoma. We haven't really been talking about them a lot. We've talked about Texas as being one of the true complete teams in the NCAA that we've seen so much this year. But looks like Oklahoma had something else to say. But no big deal. Texas will get their revenge if you look at the Big 12 and how it's all set up and you check out the way their schedules look. You're obviously going to see both of these teams again in the Big 12 championship game. So hope it will be as exciting as it was the first one. It's a really good game. So I'm anxious to see what that Big 12 championship game is going to look like when those two teams meet again. Let's see what else we have here. Notre Dame. I know Dan is glad that he is not getting to hear any of this bad Notre Dame talk. Even with the loss to OSU, they still, with the strength of their schedule, they still had an opportunity to play themselves into the conversation of an outside chance of the CFP Final Four. But that went all out the window. They almost blew it last week, but they had to do a nice win from behind to beat Duke. But they couldn't pull it out this week or this past week. So they take themselves to 2 losses, which pretty much eliminates them from the national championship conversation, even though they do have – but they can be spoiler. Excuse me. They can be spoiler. I still think that Notre Dame is a good team. They're just not ready for that super greatness that they aspire for. They're just a couple pieces off, a couple here, a couple there, but they're on a good track. So don't count Notre Dame out. But like I said, they can play spoiler to a lot of teams right now. I know USC is a big one that they can do. USC, which I got something on here, they look a little sluggish right now. You know what? I can go ahead and move this over to the top 25, which is here. So they have the matchup with USC. It'll be a good win for them. Bad win, bad loss for USC. But USC is pushing for a loss. I don't know when it's going to hop off, but it could be the Notre Dame game because Notre Dame does play enough defense where they can slow them down. USC, as you can see, they keep winning, but they keep dropping in the polls because every week they're having to outscore their opponent because they have no defense. All they need to do is come up against a team who can make 3 or 4 stops a game in that game, and they can beat them. So USC is a team that I have on upset alert pretty much every week. So that goes for that. Let's see. Michigan and Georgia. Both, I guess you could throw, Penn State was off. So you got Michigan and Georgia both looking very strong this past weekend, dominating from the beginning on. Georgia's defense looks like they're where they've been. Offense is starting to really, really start to click, but they're getting ready to get into some difficult games as well. So we'll see where their offense is at. Michigan still has a couple more tune-up games, even though they are conference games. They are going to get a little bit more difficult, except for this one in IU or with IU this weekend. But Michigan always seems to have trouble when they play the Hoosiers, but I don't think they're going to have an issue this week. But they look good. Last week showing why they're the best 2 teams, and they seem to be separating themselves from everybody else. Ohio State and Florida State, they both keep, looking good, but there's just holes that we keep seeing within those guys. So let's see. Washington surging. Big game this weekend. Let's see. We got the updated AP Top 25, which all talks about the next. Let's see. The first CFP rankings will be released week 9, which will be in 2 weeks, which will fall on October the 31st is when the first CFP rankings will go in. Then we'll not even show you this. We'll just only deal with the top 10 teams, which were maybe 12 teams, which really make it the part that was ever. What up, bud? You're not supposed to be here, but we ain't tripping on you right now. Let's see. So that is that with that. So we'll go ahead and drop you off. Okay, bud. Boy, get out. Come here. Come here. No, didn't go the other way. I have a special guest. All right, so we moving on to the next thing. Are you trying to be a star? Come here. Come here. Let's go. Look, everybody, it's Finnegan. Finnegan wants to be be a star today. So we're gonna be a star today. Finn. All right, so that takes care of that. So we're actually going to jump into the first round of picks. Bye, boy. We're supposed to first jump into the first round of picks for today, and it's going to be college. So what we'll do is, looks like my son made me a milkshake. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Could have took the cat with you. But here are the current standings of the network for the pick. Tim, I did get you corrected. The standings are correct. Let's see. But I do have a fail safe. I never check the games by the slides. I always go by the messenger where we send the picks at. So that don't trip on that part. So we are current on that. As you can see, as you can see, the wizard Greg is at the top. Well, looks like he's only going to be at the top for this week because he ignored all of our instant messages for the picks this week. So Greg is going to fall this week no matter what. We gave him a bye, but now you have to collect the piper. So as you can see, there is, what is this? You got a couple ties at the second and third place. And as you can see at the bottom, DaLion is no longer at the bottom of the list. Stop. At the bottom of the list. So there you have it. Now let's get to the college games. Run through this real quick. First set of games is Iowa and Wisconsin. Stop. Go. Sorry, everybody. Iowa and Wisconsin. Let's see. Iowa's 5-1. Wisconsin's 4-1. Good Big Ten matchup. Always a good hard-nosed battle inside the trenches. Never really have a lot of explosive players. It's always a good, solid Big Ten game. Don't expect either one of them to go any other past the Big Ten West, but it should be a good game. So let's see what everybody chose. Look like I am the lone Iowa guy. Don't know why. Maybe because it's the black and yellow, but I am not quite sure. But I went with Iowa. Everybody else went Wisconsin. So we'll see who is smart and who is not. So next game up we have, which is going to be a really, really good game that has a lot to say what goes on with the rankings for the next couple weeks. This is going to have a lot to say what's going on in a fully loaded Pac-12 conference. You have Oregon at 8, Washington at 7. Both of them undefeated. Both of them have dynamic offensives. Both of them have, mediocre defenses. We're going to see what it do. Washington has Penix, who came from the Big Ten at IU. He's like 38 years old, but, he's experienced. You haven't seen him make many mistakes this season. But this is going to be the biggest test for both of these schools. So keep an eye on this because this is going to have a lot to say with the Pac-12 and the CFP ranking. So and this is how it broke down with the network. Looks like Washington gets the slimmest votes, which is what I expected. Looks like DaLion and myself are the smart ones in this bunch. So you can see how that goes. So let's keep it moving in our third college game. This is our next ranked game. We have a Miami team that should be 5-0, but what a mental debacle by their. Well, let's take a minute. I wasn't going to get into it. I was going to let it go. But let's get into it. Let's see. Clock management, correct? Clock management wins you or lose you games. But let me think about this, okay? So you have under a minute to go left in the game, and you have the other team has no timeouts, and you have a first down. So if my mathematics is correct, I know I wasn't the smartest, kid in school, didn't make the best grades in school, I'm not the strongest grade, not the strongest strand in the dispensary or however he says it. But I do know that is not enough time for anything to happen other than take a knee. Why are you handing the ball off for anything to happen? So what happened? You handed the ball off and he fumbled. And then they go down and score a touchdown to win the game. So Miami should be, the coach should be fined. I feel that the school should fine like he owes the school money. Because, that's like self-sabotage. You're trying to lose. I check his books. I check and make sure his financials is all right. Is he not owing any bookies? His wife ain't, got credit cards. It's, ridiculous because that's a bookie move. You know what I mean? That's a bookie move. So, but anyway, North Carolina. So, by that play alone, I can't give Miami no credit. I thought they were surging in the right direction, but I don't know. But North Carolina's going to get the win in this one. North Carolina hasn't been talked about as much in the ACC as they should. All the conversation has been about the implosion of Clemson, the exertion of Duke and Florida State, and North Carolina probably with either the first or the second pick in the draft at quarterback, who's probably the best quarterback, in the country. However you look at it between him and Caleb, they're going to go 1 and 2 depending on who gets to pick in the NFL. But they're hot, so keep an eye on North Carolina. That's what we like. Let's see. Next up, I do have another game. I like to throw a wild card in there at time to time to throw everybody off. So we're going to go with the American Conference with that wild card game. We're going to go with Tulane. If for one, beginning of the season, they were preseason ranked. Had that one loss, but they're still looking like a pretty good team. Memphis every now and then gives you something positive. Looks like this is that every now and then where they got something positive. That's a quality milkshake. He did well. But you can have a milkshake. And if that's one thing that I pass on to the boy, if it comes with anything, you got to know how to make a quality milkshake. 'Cause, you make yourself a nice juicy burger where the cheese and the burger juice just runs down your hand all on your ketchup fries. And what better to wash that down with than a nice quality milkshake. I'm proud of it. Good job, bro. But anyway, that was my tip for today. Quality milkshake. So, Tulane, Memphis. This is where we go. If you are the batters, you can see the line is down on the bottom. So what do we do? I am going to go with Memphis. I don't have any reason why I'm going to go with Memphis. I just feel Memphis. Like I felt Wyoming last week. Holla. I will never, ever do that again. I apologize. All right, so that takes care of college. So what we're going to do, we're going to jump over Ready, Set, NFL. I forgot one. One thing. Let's see, the Elite Performance. The Elite Performance Performer of the Week is brought to you by Elite Performance, where the dream of elite fitness becomes a reality. Call 765-499-1005. And the red-headed hawk will get you taken care of for all of your elite physical peak performance needs. Hit him up. He'll get you tight. We did a lot of things with those guys. And I know Dan's over there. I mean, everything is getting in shape but his belly. So he's doing a good job. So For didn't get Dan's elite performance. Mine is I'm going to go with the 49ers. Reason why I'm going to go with the 49ers is because of the complete and total domination of those Cowgirls. So that is why I'm going to go with the 49ers. Everything that you thought about the Cowboys is everything you thought. Like, as great as Micah Parsons he was ineffective in this game. They 49ers coach Shanahan did what the Cowboys coach can't do. He can't game plan. He can't strategize. He can't do what a coach needs to do to put their football team in the best situation to win. So that's how I feel on that situation. It was domination on offense and defense. I mean, they was running all the plays that they want. I don't even know why you put Micah Parsons up against the best. You're supposed to move around, but you set him in front of Trent Williams the whole night, which was not in your favor. But, again, that's a McCarthy decision. So, they're probably going to play again. Do I feel that the Cowboys have a better shot? No. Is this last year at Dallas? I've said it before for Dak. Yes, I do. I think that dude is bad. I don't want someone to say he's a bad quarterback. He's just not a starting quarterback, at least not for the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. So that's bad news for them. So that's who I got. My elite performers is the whole 49ers because they did the damn thing, which leads us into Ready, Set, NFL. We've talked about it. I led the show off last week talking about the Steelers, saying Matt Canada has to go. Even with the win over the Baltimore Ravens this past week, which with exciting fashion, kind of like how the Braves won Game 2 in exciting fashion. I still have it on my headlines. It's going to be up there until it changes. Matt Canada has to go. Not going to take it off. I'm going to say it every week until he's gone, regardless if we win or not. I've never questioned Mike Tomlin's leadership or judgment in pretty much anything in his tenure at the Steelers, but the longer he holds on to Matt Canada, the longer that I have to maybe question his leadership and his decision-making processes. So hopefully we can get, some good things happening in Pittsburgh and not just great speeches on the podium. Thank you. All right, so moving on to that. Ravens are the best team, the best division proclaimed in in football. The North, AFC North, is not looking that way. The Ravens just lost to the Steelers, and Cincinnati is not looking pretty good. But don't sweat. Don't stop. Look, wait. Don't wait. Still, look now. The Steelers are at the top of the AFC North. So we're just going to leave it right there. We ain't going to say nothing else. We're just going to keep it moving. Let's see. The revenge game. Jets coach Solomon, I love him. I like him. I think he's a great coach. I think he's good for his team. I think he's a leader of men, not just a leader of teams. You know what I mean? There's a difference. I think that he took the high road with the win over Peyton and the criticism of his offensive coordinator and all of that mumbo jumbo. You knew Sean Payton's foot was going to be inserted in his mouth for making those kind of statements, and it's just been happening all year. I guess the question was, now does he even finish the season? Like, are they going to give him that much? Like, I think both of them have to go, Russell and him. I mean, it's just bad over there. But great win for the Jets. I can tell you right now, I would not have taken the high road. I'd have been all up in this shit. So there you have it with that. Let's see. I had a section blocked off here to Dan to talk shit about the Cowboys sucking. We talked about them. Niners as the best team. Not just offense and defense in the league. They're the best team, period, in the league. Philadelphia could have a little bit to say with that, but I think they're just about 7 centimeters behind the 49ers. So when those two finally match up, it's going to be an exciting game. Quick question I will pose this week. We can answer it after this week's football games, when we have the Lion roaring the airwaves, whose seat is hotter, Belichick's or Tomlin? So we'll discuss that at another time. Let's see here. What do we have up? We have here are the current power rankings. That should not say week 5. That should stay week 6. Didn't get time to proof my slides because we were waiting on the Wizard to get us his picks in, which he still has not done. So I didn't edit my slide properly. But as you can see here, these are the top 10 of the power rankings. I thought Dallas would fall out, but they have not. Glad to see Baker and the Bucks up there, and Jacksonville and Sunshine. Trevor Lawrence is creeping up, so should be an exciting time for these individuals. Let's see. So we are going to move on from here, and we're going to hit our pro picks for Doc Sports, BW Sports 1 Network picks of the week, NFL version. So here we go. We got the Seahawks and the Bengals. Bengals is playing. They're starting to look better. Joe Burrow's calf is starting to look better. They're starting to be a little bit more mobile. The Seahawks, I've been high on them pretty much all year in the preseason. They're looking pretty good, but they're going to come across country to play a Bengals team that doesn't protect very well. So the line on this game is Cincy 3 over and under is, what is that? Something and a half. All right, so and this is what we come up with. So it looks like it'd be pretty split down the middle. I'm going with the Seahawks. Like I said, I was up with them all pretty much all season. Was that Tommy and Steven. Let's see, on the other side, we got DaLion, The Source, and Tim going off on that side. Next game up, we have, this is the struggle game. So you have the Patriots, who are not looking very well. A lot of things going on. People are questioning if Robert Kraft needs to be making a change, not just at coach, maybe just at the general manager's position to actually get some people in there. I heard a stat earlier today when I was watching some of the talk shows. I think was that Bill Belichick, the Patriots, only Pro Bowl selections in the last blah, blah, blah many years have been a punter and a kick returner. So there's a lot going on there. So some decision-making is going on. The Raiders, they've did they win back-to-back games, beating the Steelers and the Packers. So still the hottest thing in Vegas is the Sphere. But I think they're going to win this game, and most of the people do except for DaLion. Not sure. I would love to hear why he picked those guys. That would be nice to hear. So last game of the week, we're going to go with the hot Lions and the Go Blue Aiden Hutchinson going against Baker and the Bucks, who seem to have found a match with themselves. So this game is going to be good if they can try to way to keep Aiden Hutchinson, who I think leads the league in pass rushes. We'll like to see if they can keep him away from Baker to give him time to get the ball out, who seems to be spreading the ball out pretty well. I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. So we'll see how it goes. And looks like nobody is really believing in Baker and the Bucks in this particular situation. So clean sweep for the Lions. So there you have it. Those are the picks. I ran through a couple of storylines that were worth talking about. Didn't want to draw things out a little bit too much this evening. Like I said, there's a lot going on. You got the baseball, you got preseason hockey, preseason NBA, you got WNBA finals. You got NCAA college on. There's a lot of stuff going on. So I'm going to let you get to it. Let's see. What do we have? Last thing I got on here. Yes, the Beast Within. This is a section where we see who player or team unleashed their beast within this past weekend. The Beast Within is brought to you by Beast Sportswear. Check out all the new designs and announcements over at BWSPORTS1.com. Didn't get his, but mine is, I'm going to stay with the Steelers. I was kind of torn between the Steelers and the Colts because such a great win, even with their quarterback taking another injury back, which would be him being put out of 3 of the 4 games that they played. A big storm from the state of basketball asked me this weekend, was at Richardson, not asking if he was a bust, but asking if the conversation should be had about him being the bust. I gave him my honest opinion. I thought it could be a little bit early to say he's a bust because it's year 1, game 5. But the things is, when they drafted him, his ceiling was really high, but they knew that he had to learn. But what situation did you have coming into the season? It was either him or Minshew, but you didn't really know. So you know what? We're not planning on winning a lot of games. We're going to go with the young guy, lead on our running game with Jonathan Taylor. But I think he needs to learn how to, not take so many hits. But you say that about a lot of quarterbacks like Josh Allen and who else? Lamar Jackson, stuff like that. So give him his time. But he's going to have to learn how to take hits. He's going to have to slide and not take hits, so to speak, is what I'm saying. So, but I chose the Steelers for that, for mine. But the way the offense again with Matt Canada looked terrible throughout the game, but had spots, but still looked pretty terrible. Warren is trying to take Najee Harris's position with the way he's running the ball and the way he's catching the ball out the backfield and running over players and stuff that we expected Najee to do. But the defense held him in the game, kept him with a shot, kept doing his thing. T.J. Watt and Highsmith are a new bookend tandem that you need to really be talking about. So we ended up with a block punt, a hitch and go with Pickens, which put him up, and then T.J. Watt and Highsmith sealing the game out. So, yeah, they unleashed their beast within to get it done in the end. So there you go. That's what we got. If you don't like it, I don't care, because that's what I chose. So there you have it. Now, let's wrap this thing up. I know you guys are tired of looking at my pretty mug, and I'm tired of looking at yours. No, I'm just kidding. So here are all of our friends that you should be friends with that, this is who we think you should be friends with. So we're going to go with Elite Performance, Checkered Life Customs. You can bet that. Doc Sports Picks, My Bookie, The Fighter's Friend, The One's Kitchen, Beast Sportswear, Southern Combat Productions. That's pretty hot. I like it. This guy's kind of weird. And if you want to check out some of the shows and our friends of the network, here's a lineup of our shows. Obviously, we got us here at the Dukes of Football. We got Checkers Records, which is our racing show with Tommy Boy. He does an excellent job and has been forever. Let's see. We got Super Kicking It with Stephen and Greg. We have the State of Basketball with myself and Big Storm. We have the Combat Zone. We have Just a Bit Outside and our new show, The Puck Drops Here. So if you want to check out any of these shows, any of our syndicated shows, you can always check them out on the website at BWSPORTS.com. We got good stuff on there. Dan, I know he has a lot of interviews with fighters from the MMA world. So go over and check us out. see what we can do, what services that we provide that we can do for you. So there you have it. I'm the one. Dukes of football. Houston's up 3-1 on Minnesota. So get your sports on, people. I'm the one. I'm out. I guess I better hit the button or do a pew pew or something like that. Pew 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 pew.